whenever you're ready.
So we're team one. This is Elizabeth, Drew, Faison, William, and I'm Sam, and we are going to teach you how to lead. So everybody has at some point in time been under some sort of leadership or management. So I'm gonna put a picture of a leader on the board, and you guys just tell me what comes to mind at first. So what do you guys think of when you see a picture of this guy?
Bad boss.
Boring.
Boring, okay, bad boss. So what about her?
Uptight.
Uptight, maybe micromanaging a little bit. And finally, yes. What do you guys think of whenever you see this boss?
Best boss.
Best boss, okay. Kind of not the greatest as far as company-wise go, kind of runs the company in the ground, not so great. So I think that we can all agree that these bosses are pretty much terrible. But instead of using the word terrible, because it seems kind of childish, we're going to use the term ineffective. So what can we do with these leadership styles instead of just kind of not really appreciating them for what they are? We can be proactive and think about their strong suits. And for that, I'm going to pass it off to you.
Great. So there's different kinds of leadership, and the first one we're going to be looking at is commander. And they're kind of like your direct command. I mean, a lot of people don't like those kinds of bosses because they don't want to be, directly told with no feedback on what to do. But that's essentially what the commander does. They very specific, provide goals, set focus, things like that. I'm going to use an example of my job where it's actually a really good thing. I mean, it's kind of a dated form of leadership, but it works really well. At my job, if a code red is called, and a code red is when a individual needs to be restrained for safety reasons. And what the supervisor does is immediately silence all radio traffic, and she will give out direct commands for people to go where and do what. And it works really, really well. They've never had any issues with it, and it's just an example where it really does work. I'm sure places where it wouldn't work would be, in the accounting field. You probably don't want to be micromanaged. That's not something people like. But the article that we read gave Elon Musk as a good example for direct command. I found that funny, so I put this picture.
And so the second leadership style that we'll be talking about today is communicator. And as a communicator, the first thing you want to do is you want to create an open environment for your employees where there's open communication. And you can do this by just sharing, the company's goals, the company's vision, the different strategies that you use. And that gives your employees an idea of what they're doing there, what their purpose is, what their goals are. The second thing you want to do is you want to provide constructive feedback. So not only do you want to applaud them on what they're doing correctly, but you also want to advise them on what what they can improve on. So at my summer internship, my boss gave me no sort of constructive feedback. And I felt like if he had done that, I could have gotten way more out of my internship. And I could have developed those skills, used those skills, in my future jobs. So that one, in my opinion, is one of the most important ones. And active listening to your employees. What that does is that shows that you hold your employees to a certain level of respect, and that they have some sort of say in the company, some sort of opinion, and that they can truly make a change in this company. And last but not least, organizing non-work related activities is really important. So at my internship, every 2 or 3 weeks we'd go out. We went bowling once, we went to Topgolf once, and what that does is that it really takes your relationship to the next level, and kind of adds a personal touch to it. And not only does that help the boss to employee relationship, but that also helps the employee to employee relationship. And you know, obviously, you want to set boundaries, and some sort of parameters in these relationships, because if you don't, things can sometimes get a little personal. Obviously, this is an exaggeration, kind of like the extreme, but
Is it?
well, from my goal it's not. But yeah, you just want to be wary of that and kind of set those boundaries so you don't ruin that established relationship.
The next leadership style we're going to discuss is the collaborator. So we feel that this is a good leadership skill to have. Ultimately, you want to work together with the customer and with the employee to achieve goals. Kind of shift away from the top-down approach. So I know traditionally it was like the manager had the final say, they were the ones making all the goals, but if you work collectively and you're a team, you can achieve so much more. So definitely collaborating and working together as a team, having that mindset is really going to allow you to be a great leader in the in the corporate world. Next, if we're hearing what they have to say, then we're going to get some really good input. So we can definitely learn from that. And then ultimately, this is going to enable self-efficiency and just sharing of ideas. So again, if we continue to collaborate and just work together instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, a lot of times if you just reach out to someone, more than likely they know the answer to your solution and you don't have to sit there and waste so many hours when they already have the answer. So I have just, what is it, this one? So you don't want to be the boss that nobody, you say something and nobody wants to hear what you say, but be the boss that they can come to you, have an open mind, and let them know that what they have to share is meaningful to you and they can actually add value to the team. And I'm going to pass it on to our last leadership style.
All right, so the co-creator is a pretty interesting leadership style. You have to work as part of the team, but still lead it at the same time. A lot of the factors of co-leadership is everyone's kind of going for their own individual goals, so they're gonna focus in on what they want to do, but you still have to be able to manage that and make sure that the end result is something that you guys want. Another thing about it is that it leads to rapid innovation. A lot of people will look at things in different ways, and they'll be able to find different ways to do things that maybe you can't think of on your own. So it's very effective in creating new processes and thereby creating innovation. It usually also decreases lower marginal cost of whatever you're trying to produce, simply because as people are going to be more effective doing the things that they want to do, they're going to produce more in that area. It also increases work participation because, if someone tells you to do something but you're really not into it, you're not going to work as hard, whereas if it's something that you want to do as a person, you're going to feel a little bit more emotionally invested in it. And basically, I have this picture here because whenever you're a co-leader, you want to look through your lens, but you want to look at the lens of other people in your group as well.
So what now? You've given me all this information. What are you going to do with it? So you can join student organizations or organizations outside of school to build that kind of awareness of leadership styles and really kind of work on your own leadership styles. Because in order to be a great leader, you also have to be a great follower. You can do volunteering events, which also you're working underneath somebody, but you have that ability to kind of break off into groups and still lead as well as follow. And then be a leader. Go out and lead a team. Kind of take the initiative and be a leader in your next group project at school. And that's that. There's our references. We're awesome. Thank you.